Hey guys, this is Chodaros, and today we're going to learn how to make this gorgeous, fabulous bracelet. It is the Simple Elegance variation. The first bracelet, if I'm not mistaken, that MsLoom designed around 26 weeks ago. So this is an original design with just a couple added features that MsLoom had recently came up with. So, very important that you know that the original design tutorial was done by DESIDEE'S. You can find her on Instagram, and her YouTube channel is posted below. Make sure that you check her out. Make sure that you follow the original tutorial, as I do not go into such great detail as she does. And she will teach you how to make the bracelet. But there's only two different steps compared to the first. So in this variation, it is every other band is beaded, and the beads are placed in between the loops. This is what we currently do now, but being that this was done so long ago, they were looped a little differently. And second, there is a fishtail or single chain type border added to the side. So not too different, but it is gorgeous. It is hook only. That is the back. And I decided to go with these 12mm beads just to see how they would come out. And then I'll show you in my next clip. I teach you how to add these bead caps on them. Technically they should be flat, I guess, but like that. But with how big they are, if I wanted to have them lay flat, I would have to have probably added 3 bands in between each beaded band on my single chain. So I just decided to put them on their side, and I think that it looks just as beautiful. Okay, so you want to grab your supplies and have your beads on your bands so you can be ready to start the first step. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I did here in case you would like to use a similar bead. These are like 12mm beads. They're huge, probably like the biggest bead I've used to date. And I found these large bead caps and haven't had a bead to use them on yet. But I put them together and they came out pretty cool. So I'm going to show you quickly how I did that. So you want your threading tool, slide a band down, and then you get your bead cap. Oof, it's kind of hard to see because it's silver on silver and I don't wear my glasses. Yeah, I didn't get it in. Oof. It's like a super I think I got it that time. Yep, okay. So you want to slide that down, and then you grab your bead. And thread your bead on. So it should look like that. And then your other bead cap. So this one faces the bead. We put it on this way now. And then just slide that one down as well. Okay, so we want to make sure that your bands are even on both sides, and you can take out your thread. Okay, so these are bendable, flexible bead caps. So what we're going to do is just take it and squeeze them around this bead. Okay, so I did that one. You can see that one's still open. So I'm going to take my left hand and push down on those. And then it just kind of, it's an oblong shaped bead. And really it's made for a round bead, but these two objects never go together until now. Usually you'd see them on a regular pearl bead or something of that nature. But we think outside the box. Okay, so if that's something that you would like to make, I'll put the items in the description box below. And I have 4 more that I need to add to my chain. So I went ahead and started my chain. And these beads they're pretty large, so they're going to twist, but it's okay. So the easiest way that I found to do beads on a single chain, and it's every other bead. So you see that line in between, that's the plain band, is to do it as a fishtail stitch. So you do right now, well, you know, as always, you would start it by making your cap band across, and then putting this band, and then looping it over. I can't even see. There you go. So just like you would normally a fishtail, and then this is when you would add this band here. So it's your third band that you're adding. Okay? So pretend that this is where we were on our, you'll be here just a little further ahead. So after I put a plain band, I add my bead, and then we just loop it over. So it's easier to do it like this, for at least me, when I'm doing these huge beads. And then after your beaded band, you put a plain band, and then loom that over. And then you can do your next beaded band. And then your plain band. So you're going to do this until you reach your desired length of around your wrist. And always make sure that you're watching out for if you're using heavy beads, because they will stretch your bands, so you won't need as many. Okay, and I have one more. So I didn't have I had 2 more beads than I had bead caps. So I have 2 plain beads on both sides of the bracelet. And then we want to end with a plain band. Like that. And then you want to add your C-clip or any kind of clip. And clip off the end. Like that. So, I always tell you guys, never use a bead on every band, because this is what it will do. So let me pull on it. See how they crowd? But I didn't do that. I did it on every other, and it's still going to do it because these are so big. So it just fits my wrist. Alright, so now we can begin the next step. So we're going to come back down to the cap band. And I'm going to be using glitter white and simplicity black. So we want to go through the cap band, pull band through. So I only want to loom one of these bands. So I'm going to choose the back one, which it doesn't matter because my beads are all the same, so I have no front and back, but I'm going to grab that back one out of those two and pull another of that same color through, just that one band, and then my black simplicity, all four. So I want to go to the next chain, which is a single band right there, and just grab the back loop. I'm going to pull a white band always through my chain, and then my black simplicity will always be to close it up, and that way it will create a border like that. Okay, so then I go to where my bead is, and I'm going to grab this back band and pull my glitter white through that, just that band. 4 loops on my hook, and the black one pulls it all together. Go to my next one and just grab the back band and glitter white always goes through the chain band. Black simplicity closes it up. Okay, so that's what you should have. Probably could have started out with a black band down there, huh? That's okay. Okay, so I go to the next one. So by grabbing the back band, excuse me, we're creating the front, because the front we're wanting a border. I specifically would not do it on this bracelet because it's not going to be an even line because my beads are so big, but I want to do it according to how it's designed. And in that case, we want to have a border. I already did that one. Okay. So if you're using large beads like I am, they're still going to be crooked or whatnot. That'll minimize once we loom the other end, other side of our bracelet too. Okay, do one more. And we can go off and finish this side on our own. all the way up into our clip. And once we get up to our clip, I'll meet you up there and we'll close it off. Alright, so this is what you should have. And I need to loom one more band, which is the one that's in my clip. So I'm just going to take and put my hook through it and then finish this one. And once I do that, I can put this right side of this band on my hook and then just take it out. And then I'm going to add a new band and capture all 3 loops. And then when I go to do this side, that band will be ready. Okay. So my huge beads are still kind of flapping around. Alright, so as I mentioned before, because we kept the front band open and we just loomed from that back, this makes it the front, and then the back doesn't have a distinct line down. So the easiest way for me to do this, to do the other side, is I'm going to do the opposite of what I just did. So I'm just going to flip it, and now I'm looming. This is the back of the bracelet. So I want to stick my hook through the cap band and then pull a border band through, which I did go back and fix the other side. Okay, so now because I'm working through the back of the bracelet, I want to grab the first band. Grab the back band the last time. This time I'm going to grab the front. And we're just going to do the same thing. So again, out of these 2 bands, we're grabbing this back band on this side, but since I'm looming the back of the bracelet, I want to grab the back, this band here. I hope that's not confusing. And just go up to the next. Okay, so same as we just did on the other side. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I mean. So as I said, this is the back of the bracelet now, so when I turn it over, because I'm leaving that back band, it's matching up with that band running down the sides. Okay, we'll do a couple more and then we'll go off on our own and finish. Trying to make sure my beads are the right way, not twisted, because if they're twisted, then they're going to want to twist in the bracelet. Hopefully they stay pretty straight. Oops. That one got out of there. What the world? Let me start that one over. The world did I do? All right. Okay, so let's go off on our own. And see that? I skipped one. So I need to just backtrack and fix that. But let's go off on our own and finish this up to the end, and we'll meet back up there. Alright, so to finish, I just did the same as I did on this side and wrapped that around that band, so then you still have the one band going through your clip. And since my beads didn't want to sit flat, I just turned them all on their side, which it will raise it, but it still looks just as beautiful. So you want to make sure that all of your bands are untwisted, because we're going to go through this side chain for our next step. So I'm going to use metallic silver. So I'm going to start where I have this band right here coming out. So I'm not going to go into too much detail because, as mentioned before, Desi D has done the tutorial for this original bracelet, and she goes into great detail and explains it very well. But out of these two bands, two loops I should say, that are coming out from the bracelet, remember we added a band coming from the bracelet, and then we added that border band. So there's 1, 2, oops, I'm sorry. And then you go into your next length, there's 1, 2, 2 loops, 2 loops. You're always going to grab the first loop. Okay, so we want to go in through this side, and then out of those 2 loops, you want to grab that first loop coming out. Like that, and pull it back through your chain. And then we want to add a band, close it up, and then go into your next link on the side and grab the next one, which is out of the 2 loops. It's always going to be this first one. And bring that through. And then grab your next band, and then this one pulls all 3 of these loops over like that, and then we just close it up. So then we go into our next from the side, and then grab that first out of the 2 loops and pull it back through, and then this band you close it up. Put all of your loops on like that. So you definitely want to make sure that those loops aren't crooked or crossed. I like this looping technique. It's pretty. How it pulls it through. So, super easy step. Alright, I'm going to let you guys finish this up. So we have a couple more things to do. And if you watch DESIDEE'S tutorial, you'll see that this step she adds a bead. Also, MsLoom's original design, she has spacer, the rondelle round spacers. They put them on this band, the band that you're pulling everything on top through. They actually add a bead. I'm not adding a bead to that one because this is so blingy. So we'll do one more. Always make sure you're going through the side, and make sure out of the 2 loops you're grabbing the first one, and then you're pulling it back through. Okay, and then that creates this nice border there. Alright, so let's finish this up and then we'll meet back. We'll close it up, do this side, and then we have our last step to complete. Alright, so, excuse me, to finish up, I have one more to do. Then I can open up my clip. I put these 2 bands on it. Turn my clip around, and then put the right one on the clip. And then I'm going to take these 2 bands and slide them on top, like that. Put it back on the clip, and close it up. So, that's what you should have. And technically this is the last step of just the regular simple elegance. We're just going to do one more after that, but let's go ahead and start this side. So I want to turn it over, and we're going to technically loom it down, but I kind of turn mine to the side. But you just want to make sure that you're grabbing the same band that you grabbed on this side, which is the first first band. And I made a boo-boo. In like 2 of these, I added 2 border bands that aren't needed. Oof. Alright, so we want to go into the side and grab that first band and then add our band here. And then we want to go down into the next link and then grab the first out of those 2 loops out of that link, pull it through, and then add our final band like that. So then we go into our next one, and these might be hidden, so I just gotta make sure, like this one is crossed. Make sure you're grabbing the right one. So make sure they're matching up. Go into the next one, and mine seem to all be crossed, but it's the longest one that's coming out, so. It's always the top band. Okay. Now I have to check myself. All right. So again, just check yourself by looking over onto the other side of your bracelet. Make sure that you're grabbing the same bands. And mine keeps falling below, so I have to kind of pull them out a bit. Okay, so let's finish this up, and then we will meet back for our last step, and we'll be finished with our beautiful bracelet. Alrighty, so this is what your bracelet should look like. And here's the back. And this is technically the simple Elegance bracelet. So the only thing that's different is how we added the center chains beads, and we're going to add another border. Okay, so I'm going to come back down, and we're just going to do a fishtail stitch single chain. So you want to go in through your first chain and pull a band through and slip knot. No, I'm sorry, you don't want to slip knot. And then I'm going to go through and grab in the next chain and pull this band all the way through all of your bands and close it up. So go back through in the center, and then from here on out, every band that you pull is going to pull everything on your hook on top. So it's just a regular simple border. But it adds another touch to an already beautiful design. Okay. make sure that you're going in the center and grabbing both, taking your hook back and having both loops on your hook like that. So that makes 4, and then pulling your band through 4 loops and then closing it up. Alright, so let's finish this up, and then I'll meet you back down here and we'll start this up. Alright, there is the first finished side, and we're going to do what we've been doing. Put the 2 bands that are in our clip on our hook. I want to add the right band back to my clip, and then just take these 2 left bands and pull them up and over and put it back on my clip. Like that. So if you flip it to the back has a groove. There's a little groove in there. Kind of see it. Alrighty, so let's do the other side and we'll be finished. I'm going to flip it around. And my 2 boo-boos you can see. Oh, I'm so upset about that. Alright, so we want to work through that first chain. Oops. And then go down to the second and pull everything through. So you definitely want to make sure that you're working the stitch the same way, so you don't have that groove on the wrong side. See how I end up working it from the side? It's hard for me to work up and down. Alright, so for time purposes, let's go ahead and work on our own and finish this side up, and we'll meet back down to finish it up. Alright, so I'm at the end, and I want to take this clip off. Take these 2. Actually, I want to take both of these off. And because it's tight, I want to add 1 more. And that one will attach to our C-clip. Just going to put this clip on it for now. And voila! We are finished. What a beautiful bracelet. Excuse me. And I had to go through and fix mine. I had the one side, I missed 2 loops. And because it's such a perfect stitch design, I couldn't have it like that, so I fixed it. So this is the simple Elegance variation. Again, you can find the original design on DESIDEE'S YouTube account. Make sure that you check it out and give her a follow on Instagram, and give a shout out to MsLoom. And don't forget to hashtag your renditions to us, as it is a gorgeous, beautiful bracelet. Wow. So until next time, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.